while she's barking. Yeah, Liza is basically finishing with her menses, I believe. I haven't noticed any blood drops lately. Well, lately, yesterday, 2 days ago. But you know, she still must be very full of hormones. So yeah, today we will have finally a dry day after I don't know how many days. But unfortunately, it will be dry only. So today, which is Wednesday, and tomorrow, because on Friday there will be apparently another storm, and then on Sunday another one. And today they just released that this past October was at the same time the warmest in the recorded history and also the wettest. So at one of our weather stations, which is located at one of the mountains here, they actually recorded more than 1,000 liters of rainwater in the month, which usually represents a quantity that in October would fall in year and a half for the in the northeastern region. So one location, and there is a GSD in front of us, but we don't know him. Lisa doesn't know him. So yeah, Tuki. So yeah, quite, you know, I think it's quite clear indication of changing weather and patterns that we are experiencing. The warmest and at the same time the wettest. So this latest rain, so there were a couple of evacuations, couple of houses got flooded, bridges were damaged, some roads were washed away. There were plenty of mudslides, landslides. In some cases they have already repaired the damage. In some cases they have to wait for the ground to settle down so that they can then start repairing the damage, because it's basically, you know, still continuous landslide because the soil is so drenched with water and green. But at least it's not raining now, so Lisa and I can go for our noon walk. Lizzie, no dino. She has to sniff. She has to sniff. Yeah. There was one river in the southeastern part that was overflowing yesterday, but they didn't report any major damage there. But in some cases, you know, civil defense and local firefighters and volunteers were throughout the night and throughout the basically days were, you know, manning the most critical parts of riverbanks, and also, you know, let's say build them up, or at least reinforce them as best they could. Of course, now quite a lot of people on social media are complaining how in the past local residents, you know, wanted from the municipalities to improve the situation regarding riverbeds, well, river banks, let's say. You know, river beds, due to, you know, they haven't been cleaned in a long time, so there are a lot of debris, you know, tree trunks and whatever. While in the other cases, you know, they wanted, you know, the river banks to be improved, reinforced. Okay, that's it for now. I have to clean after this one. Just quick addendum. You know, we used to have public, you know, state-owned companies that were responsible just for, you know, regulation of rivers. But of course, they were then privatized, and then they change the structure of the state budget. So in the olden days, the provision of money for regulation of rivers was, you know, set. I don't know how many percent, or, you know, 0.0, I don't know, 5% of the budget. But then they, you know, decided we don't need to have this, you know, specific requirement or regulation. So they then just stopped with this percentage, and they just incorporated the budget for the river regulation into, you know, the general budget. I think it's under the Ministry of Environment, if I'm not mistaken. So we do still have, you know, every year money that goes from the state budget to, you know, for regulation of rivers. But at the same time, we have very strange system when the river monitors, so, or river inspectors, so in public, well, they are not public, so they are persons who are responsible for monitoring the state of the river, the rivers and river banks, river beds, and they then have to, you know, basically order which section they have to work on. These now private companies, but the catch is that these river monitors, inspectors, are employed in these private companies. So, you know, there is no basically outside control, and they will have to, you know, people are starting to realize these, you know, problems. and things will have to change. Okay, that's it.